So there's a lot of quotes floating around at the minute, billions of memes. There's a mixture of the amusing ones about the disaster that is 2020, and then there's also a bunch of positive, motivational quotes, all this kind of stuff, and lots of different bits of advice for dealing with anxiety and fear and all those similar types of struggles. And one of the prevalent things that keeps coming up is this concept of questioning your thoughts. This idea that to beat your anxiety or your fear, you've just got to get to the root of it by thinking about it more and understanding it on a deeper level. And I'm all for questioning and self-reflection, but it's only a small piece of the puzzle. And way too much emphasis gets put on this. Thinking is not the route to feeling better, okay? You cannot think better until you feel better. Okay, this is why things like cognitive behavioral therapy tend to fall a little bit flat for many people. I know a lot of people that have had CBT therapy, and they've just said it's not quite enough. It's not quite worked for them, because intellect and emotion are two different things. They're interlinked, undoubtedly, but you can't outthink an emotion, and trying to do that will only make it worse, because when we get amped up emotionally, we're not in the right state to do our best thinking. A free mind, a mind that is clear and focused and able to take better actions, cannot come from being overstressed. It cannot come from being in a survival mode. It cannot come from being, in a very incoherent, unbalanced state. We do our best thinking when we are coherent, and our brain is in a peak state when the content that we're putting into our brain and the environment of our brain are at their optimum levels. So if you're not putting in good stuff every day through your daily actions, and you're not working to improve your coherence and your brainwave patterns, then you're not going to be able to think your way out of a paper bag. It's not going to work. And the only way to get into better brain states, to get into better physiological states, to get into better emotional states, is to deal with all that stored emotional energy. If you feel better, you will think better, but you cannot think better in order to feel better. It doesn't work that way around, unfortunately. Science shows us this. We know how this works from studying the brain, from studying the heart. We know how it's all starting to link up now. And you guys know this. If you think about the last time you got really anxious or really upset, or something was really bothering you, what was going on in your mind? It was going at 1,000,000,000 miles an hour, a bunch of unillegible, unhelpful thoughts. You probably struggled to do anything. When we're in that fight or flight mode, we don't know what's going on. And the more you try to apply logic and intelligence to that, the worse it's going to get, because your emotions are energy. They don't give a shit about your critical thinking abilities. They don't give a shit about your IQ. They don't give a shit about how well you can think, because your emotions are energy and they are driving you. So if you want to be better and you want to live a better life, you have to start there. You have to start with your emotions. We have to have the ability to take that emotional energy and move it on. The ability to let go of all that stuff and allow it to move on. And until we